Welcome. On the eve of the 22nd century, our special report will take a look at some of the changes in our climate that have taken place over the past 100 years. We have seen food shortages, endless wildfires, mass migrations, and storms that have submerged cities. Scientists say we are nearing the end, and this could have been avoided. But how?
Yeah. How did we get here? Let's rewind. Ever since the Industrial Revolution took off in the 18th century, vast quantities of fossil fuels have been used to power the economy. Through the years, carbon dioxide levels have increased in relation to fossil fuel consumption, which raise temperatures and cause a greenhouse effect. This increase in temperature traps heat, warms up the Earth, and disrupts the balance of the atmosphere, having a huge impact on the environment and on humankind. So, how can we fight climate change before it's too late? Well, people know that there are some things they can do, like recycling, using public transport, buying locally grown foods, or using reusable bags, even turning off the lights when not using them. That's enough to fight climate change, right?
A lot of people think that they are making environmental decisions, but it's just not enough. I mean, recycling soft drink containers, sorting out newspapers. I mean, that's a good start, but it's only part of the solution. And I think there's so much more we could do. And the technology, the ability to do it, it's in reach. And part of it is architecture. Part of it is urban design. In 2003, when Vancouver won the bid to host the Winter Olympics, the decision was made by the city of Vancouver that they would use Southeast False Creek to be the Olympic Village. And the decision was additionally made that this would be a sustainable community. It's a development that had innovations, creativity that have never been used anywhere else before. Some of the features of the sustainable community, which are really quite unusual, are first of all a sewage to energy center where sewage, that is anything down the toilet, anything down the drain, it's turned into energy, and particularly heat energy, and it's sent back to heat the structure. Another very interesting feature that you'll see nowhere else is a very interesting storm water management system. So all the rainwater that falls onto the streets through gravity, it's drained into a human-made stream. And the purpose of it is before the water goes back into the waters of False Creek, it is filtered through natural seagrasses that are planted there and other kind of temperate coastal vegetation. We got to understand that the context of this, Vancouver, is a city that is known for sustainability. What we see in Southeast False Creek is the best example of both recreation and residential in a very sustainable community.
Human modifications to landscapes, specifically within city areas or urban areas, have caused this effect where temperatures are markedly higher within the urban landscape compared to its rural counterpart. This is known as the urban heat island effect. The urban heat island effect occurs when solar radiation is absorbed by dark surfaces and building materials used in cities that accumulate and store this heating during the day and then release it at night. Green roofs are an ideal heat island reduction strategy with many benefits, including improving the thermal performance and energy consumption of our buildings, increasing wildlife habitat and green space, and providing opportunity for urban gardens.
The University of British Columbia is home to some of the most energy-efficient buildings in Canada. They have a facility that uses renewable biomass to create electricity and thermal energy for buildings. This system cuts the university's reliance on fossil fuels and helps eliminate campus greenhouse gas emissions. The university also has solar panels, which reduce a building's impact on the environment. They prevent thousands of pounds of CO2 pollution from going into the atmosphere every year. Large windows allow natural light to stream in, removing the need for electric lighting. Energy-efficient window films can also help by reducing heat gain in the summer while helping to hold in warm air in the winter. If you don't live in a city, There are also ways to make your home more energy efficient while helping you cut down on CO2. A design approach known as a passive house can help reduce carbon without breaking the bank.
A passive home is cutting-edge building practices. Energy efficiency, air tightness, comfort, livability.
A passive house is a home that greatly reduces the amount of energy used for space heating. Typically, a passive house doesn't have a furnace. And it will have triple glazed windows, much thicker walls in terms of the amount of insulation, a thicker roof, and greatly reduced air leakage.
It's 90% more efficient than a standard home, so that relates to your utility bills. Operating costs of the house are really low.
I feel that the passive house movement is a real one and a critical one because we finally found a technology and some building practices that can be relatable or livable and can be applied to residential construction.
There's no doubt passive homes will be the way everyone lives in the future, and we're supported by the City of Vancouver in building these homes now.
And for me, it just makes sense when you look at the benefits to the environment, to the family living in the home. I would love to share our knowledge with others and make Vancouver a greener place.
By redefining what we call home and building green, we can reduce our impact and save the planet, the only home we have.
Welcome. On the eve of the 22nd century, it has been announced by scientists that humans have combated climate change. It is reported that environmental challenges have been resolved through the creative use of clean energy. It is through this sustainable reform that the Earth has returned back to climatic stability, and most importantly, saved our home.